In the annals of history, few chapters are as stained with the darkness of human greed and suffering as the story of slavery and its eventual abolition. Today, we dare to confront the uncomfortable truths buried within this harrowing tale, delving deep into the web of exploitation, hypocrisy, and moral bankruptcy that underpinned the rise of the British Empire. As the wheels of progress turned and the Industrial Revolution dawned, a sinister shadow lurked beneath the surface, a shadow cast by the chains of bondage and the cries of the oppressed. Driven by a yearning for freedom, enslaved people across the colonies harbored a spirit of rebellion. The Haitian Revolution, a powerful act of defiance, resonated throughout the Americas and threatened the very core of colonial rule. The story of slavery in the British Empire wasn't one of passive acceptance. Dotted throughout history were hundreds of rebellions, acts of defiance that challenged the very foundations of this barbaric system. From the Haitian Revolution, which led to the establishment of the first free black republic in the Americas, to the Stoner Rebellion in South Carolina, where enslaved people fought for freedom and established a maroon community, these uprisings caused immense damage to the British Empire. These rebellions weren't spontaneous outbursts. They were meticulously planned, often led by skilled fighters and tacticians. Imagine the incredible bravery it took for these brave souls, many of whom had been formidable warriors in their homelands, to rise up against a seemingly insurmountable power structure. Many of the Africans who were enslaved had been fighters, prisoners of war from rival African nations, or even exiled noblemen from powerful military families akin to the nobility of Europe. They brought with them a wealth of military experience and knowledge that they used to plan and execute their rebellions. The cost to the British Empire was significant. Property was destroyed, crops burned, and lives lost. The Haitian Revolution, which lasted for over a decade, not only dealt a severe blow to French control of the island, but also sent shockwaves throughout the Caribbean and beyond. The fear of a similar uprising undoubtedly influenced British policies. Islands like Jamaica and Dominica witnessed intense maroon wars, where enslaved Africans who escaped to mountainous regions formed their own communities and controlled vast territories for decades. These maroon societies, also known as quilombos in South America, became safe havens for escaped captives and posed a constant threat to colonial authorities. Maroons not only raided plantations for food and supplies, but also freed other people from bondage, creating safe havens for escaped slaves and inspiring future rebellions. Similar rebellions flared up in Grenada, St. Vincent, and Cuba, all inspired in part by the success of the Haitian Revolution. The damage caused by these rebellions went beyond the immediate economic losses. It eroded the myth of slave docility and exposed the inherent instability of slave societies. The British Empire was forced to dedicate significant resources, manpower, military force, and financial expenditure to suppress these uprisings. This constant state of unrest undoubtedly crippled the system. These rebellions, though often crushed, became a thorn in the side of the empire. They kept the issue of slavery at the forefront of public consciousness and fueled abolitionist movements in Britain. The sheer number of these uprisings proved that slavery wasn't a sustainable system in the long run. Abolitionists like Olaudah Equiano, a formerly enslaved man who wrote a powerful autobiography detailing the horrors of slavery, used the threat and cost of these rebellions to bolster their arguments. They pointed out the human cost, the economic strain, and the constant fear of rebellion as powerful reasons to abolish slavery altogether. Meanwhile, in the heart of industrializing Britain, a new dawn was breaking. The clamor of machinery echoed through the air. As factories sprung up like mushrooms after rain, yet beneath the veneer of progress lay a sobering truth. The riches reaped from the blood and sweat of the enslaved filled the vaults of empires, financing conquests and the relentless quest for expansion. From the cotton fields of the American South to the sugar plantations of the Caribbean, the machinery of oppression churned relentlessly, driven by insatiable greed and unchecked power. Furthermore, the availability of cheap raw materials extracted from colonial territories, coupled with a captive labor force, contributed to the competitive advantage enjoyed by British industries. The exploitation of enslaved Africans and colonial subjects ensured a steady supply of resources essential for manufacturing processes, including textiles, iron and coal. In essence, while the Industrial Revolution marked a shift away from reliance on slave labor in domestic industries, it was built upon the profits and resources extracted through centuries of slavery and colonization. Britain and Western Europe undeniably owe the majority of their wealth and economic prosperity to the exploitation of enslaved peoples and the colonization of foreign lands. Acknowledging this historical reality is essential for understanding the enduring legacy of slavery and colonialism and the complex interplay between economic development and human suffering. Today, as we gaze upon the monuments of our past, let us not forget the sins of our forefathers, their greed, their hypocrisy, their complicity in the suffering of millions. For only by acknowledging the depths of our depravity can we hope to chart a course towards redemption. Restricting the slave trade and slavery itself provided British merchants and industries with a competitive advantage by limiting labor competition and disrupting the economies of rival European powers. Additionally, it's crucial to recognize that while moral arguments against slavery gained traction in Britain, the decision to restrict slavery was driven by economic and political considerations aimed at strengthening British dominance. In summary, while moral arguments played a very minor role in Britain's decision to restrict slavery, it's essential to recognize the broader strategic motivations at play. The British government pursued abolition as part of a calculated strategy to secure economic supremacy and weaken rival powers. It is only through understanding our past that we can truly chart a course for the future. Thank you for joining us on this profound journey through the complexities of history. If you found this exploration enlightening, we encourage you to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content.